Hello everyone, welcome to OWTV. I'm Commander X and I am joined by Kellex today from Qadsiah. How are you doing today, Kellex?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Excited to talk to you about, it's been a week actually since we talked to Qadsiah, so there's a lot to catch up on. But before that, this is now the second stage you've had with Qadsiah. Do you feel settled in the team now? Like everything's just run of the mill, every day the same, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I had experience with some of the guys before on other teams, so yeah, getting in was really simple, and now it's just like being home. Like I've been with them for many years, almost.
You did add a new player as well to the mix, but one you're not completely unfamiliar with in the form of Chase as well. What has it been like working with Chase again?
I mean, it's nice. He's a funny guy. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a great player as well, and he can fill in on the other tank heroes that ZIYAD can't play. So it's been easy to play with him.
And for Landon and Checkmate now, obviously the two imports, whereabouts are they now? Are they in EMEA on good ping somewhere?
Yeah, I think they're in Saudi. I don't know what exactly PC plays they're at, but they're somewhere in Riyadh.
And then I wanted to ask about Junkbuck as well, because obviously, as I'm sure gets brought up to you all the time, you're one of the most seasoned players in all of Overwatch, which also means you've had probably one of the biggest range of coaches you could possibly have. Where does Junkbuck sort of stack up for you in terms of all these different coaches?
I mean, I think it's one of the better ones I've had throughout my whole career. I think it's really great, honestly. You can really see that there's a reason why he has won so many tournaments. Yeah, I mean, he's probably one of the best, if not the best. Yeah, I don't want to glaze too much, but yeah, he's been great to work with. But I've also had other coaches in my career that have been really good for me, for my personal development as well. So, yeah.
And then getting into the game itself, I want to start with the Twisted Minds game because that's probably the one that had a lot more to it as well. It feels like you always come out on top of these guys lately. It's always super close. It always goes down to the final map, but you always come out on top. What do you think it is that just gives you that little bit extra every time?
I mean, I actually don't know. I think it's just we might be slightly better. And when we were playing Symmetra, and I know they didn't. I don't actually remember. Did they play Symmetra that much? Maybe not. But yeah, I think we're just 10% better on facials, 5%, and I think that's just it. You know, that's not really an answer. I just know every time we play them, they're always gonna go to a map 5 because I even said it in the game as well. Like, oh guys, don't worry. I know we're playing map 4 right now, but we know it's gonna go to map 5. Just relax and calm down. Don't worry, we'll win. Yeah.
If we rewind to the start of that series as well, because obviously right back in week 1, everyone was talking about like Wu Yang, new meta, all of this. And then we start Lijiang Tower, first map of EMEA, and it's BapSim, it's Lijiang Tower, and there's nothing new.
Yeah.
Do you think some of this double flex that we're seeing it was a bit overrated, or there's still a much bigger space for some of this Sim and Lucio stuff that you guys are leaning into?
I think Wu Yang is definitely a great hero, and I think we can also play it to some extent. But I think going into those 2 games, we were kind of in a rush because I think we were learning and then we were like seeing how it went in practice. But I think in the end, we just want to play comfort because we kind of need to win these games so we can have a good seeding for the playoffs. I think the first week was probably the most important one because we had Vision and TM, and I think those are like the ones that can contest us for like the top 3 placement regarding qualifying for Stockholm. So yeah, I wanted to win those games, and then like for this past week we can just be more loose and play more new comps to us and practice because we had Quick. Not saying they're a bad team at all, but yeah. So I think just play comfort against like the strong teams, and then we can practice other comps for when we have easier games, I think.
Was that the same idea on Rialto as well? Because we saw you guys roll out Juno, and there haven't really been too many teams still using that. Was that the same idea of just leaning into something more comfortable?
Yeah, I think we wanted to play Sim, right? And when Lucio got banned, we kind of need speed characters to make everything work. And I think our idea is like, if they ban Lucio, we can ban Tracer, because I think Tracer really is very annoying for Juno to play against. So ban Tracer, then you can play Juno on those maps. And I don't know, like if you watch my replay from that whole game, I'm just perma shooting my tank. I have like infinite healing stats, like no damage, only healing. And as you can see, you push the point, make it one fight, and you just press Q and point, and then you cap it, and then you rinse and repeat. And yeah, That was just the idea. Just get rid of Tracer, play another speed character, and then life is good.
Yeah, well, it worked out, didn't it, as well? So
yeah.
And then we got Atlas. Chase makes his debut. He comes in, they ban Winston, so you're on a sort of Doom Ball type situation. But this is where it sort of maybe starts to go a bit wrong. What do you think was the big problem for you guys on that map?
I think especially for the two first rounds were a bit all over the place. You're supposed to have angles and flank and take space with that comp because you're very mobile, right? And I believe they're playing a more bunker comp or like a more
bat brig.
Yeah. So you're really supposed to, take the angles and pressure them from many sides. And I think the first 2 points, we kind of just like 5-stacked in main and we didn't really take initiative. And I think throughout the map, we started being more, started playing it better. And now you can see we got 2 points after. Unfortunately, we didn't win the last point, but there was at least some moments of hope or brilliance from our side. And I think, we just needed more practice on that comp because, it's playing dive in unofficial, you have nerves, adrenaline flowing through your body, so it can be a bit harder, especially with a new player. So yeah, we just need to get more drills on it, and then I think we'll be fine.
How is the playtime split right now between Chase and ZIYAD in terms of scrims? Is it just map specific things, or are you trying to give Chase more time since he's new in?
It's kind of map specific now. I think it also depends on what comps we want to play, because I think you can play like the Wuyang style, but you can play with almost every tank, I think, even like Roadhog. So I think it's just mostly what we think is best on certain maps. I think for flashpoints and control maps, I think we'll probably stick with ZIYAD for now at least. But I think the other ones, like maybe even Icon and like just payloads in general, you can probably see a lot of Chase because like Ball can be good, Hazard is good, maybe even Winston if you're really feeling. So we'll just have to see how the meta progresses. It's hard to say now.
Yeah, obviously new patch maybe on the horizon as well, and that might shift it all again too.
Yeah.
King's Row was also a bit of a struggle. Felt like, especially the second point attack, you kind of ended up big trouble on every rotation, losing people. Never felt like you really got a proper fight you had there. Obviously, this is when they banned D.Va as well, so It felt like, I think you're on Orisa for most of it, but it just felt really hard for you guys to get in on that King's Row second.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I remember we kept first point pretty easily, I think. But yeah, I think the second point is against a comp like that with a lot of damage and you have a tank like Orisa, it's really hard to take space. And I think after the game we did discuss we should probably have went with Hazard or something like that, just, to have more openings so we can have more space. But I just remember like it was such a hard time for us to, walk. And it was like 5 minutes straight. And I think, yeah, just unfortunate. Maybe we should have done a better ban, but yeah, that's not much to say about it, honestly.
Yeah. And then obviously, you talked about it a bit before, but this is then, they've tied it up 2-2. They're one map away from reverse sweeping. We're in an all too familiar situation of a map 5 between you guys. What's being said in the team at this time? Like, what are you guys saying? What's Junkbuck saying? Is there much sort of increased anxiety or nerves?
I mean, I think luckily we've been in this situation many times, and I believe all of us are saying like it's the classic script for these games, and honestly don't think anyone would that worried at all, if any, because like the grand finals last stage, the upper bracket final, EWC, like every single game, it's always like a map 5. And I think we were all like, okay, this is how it normally goes. It actually brings some peace of mind. So yeah, I think we just said, guys, relax, map 5, it's a classic one. Just play your game. And yeah, you will win.
It happened again, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it will happen even in the playoffs as well. Yeah, it will come again, don't worry.
What do you think was the difference on that Esperanza? Because the Esperanza actually felt maybe one of the more dominant maps you had actually in the end.
I mean, I think we just had a good start, but I think we were just more like I believe their comp that they ran out on, it was like Hazard Juno Brick, right?
It was, yeah.
Hazard Juno Brick, and I don't think you can play Juno when Tracer's in the game, because we even if we lose that first fight, Checkmate can go Tracer, and now their Brick has to look at that Juno all the time, or she's dead, and we can just press the Hazard main as well, and they're just gonna fall over. So I think that was really what made them lose, because we could win the fight after, get the ults going, and our ults are way stronger than theirs, I believe. So yeah, they also had, I think they swapped backline as well, because do not break. We did one swap and they had to do 2 swaps, right?
They like just went. I think it was Kiri Lucio in the end.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so if we can do 1 swap to make them swap 2, you already know they're in a disadvantage. Yeah. So
once you get lead on Esperanza, it's like it's your game to lose at that point.
Yeah, I mean that map. I do want to say that even if you look at our game against Falcons in the final, we also had a gigantic lead. I think that map you should never sell a team out because you can get 80, 90, 100 meters and the enemy team can win 1 fight and then the second fight and then suddenly they're at 60, 70 as well. So yeah, that map is almost never over, I believe.
And then if we fast forward to this week, just gone, you obviously had maybe a more straightforward game in Quick Esports here. We saw Chase actually play all of the maps here. Was this one, again, just the type of maps you happen to play, or was this wanting to get Chase for sort of match time against a weaker opponent?
We did discuss playing just Chase. ZIYAD wasn't here the day before the match because he had some real life stuff. So we played 3 blocks with Chase, and we were like, okay, we might as well just play him for the game because, again, Quick, not the best team as you could see in the match. So we just thought, you know what, just get some practice with Chase going because it's different scrimming and then actually playing the game because people are trying more harder and there's some nerves involved. And yeah, I know they were not the best opponent, but at least he got some play time and we can see how he plays.
Does the cooling structure change much with Chase in versus ZIYAD?
I'd say slightly, yes. I believe Chase he comes a bit more like with more passion. ZIYAD, when he's on Diva, he knows exactly what he needs to do when he calls like everything he's supposed to. But maybe on other heroes like Qadsiah, he can struggle a bit because he's not as experienced on that hero. Whereas Chase, he likes to talk even on whatever hero is on. So yeah, I think Chase calls a bit more. Yeah.
And then need to ask you about the Hollywood as well, obviously, because this is where I don't know exactly when it started, but it descended into chaos at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take it from the beginning. I think. Okay. So we kind of knew we would have won the game because I think after map 1, you could realize they were not shooting back that much. So we were like, okay, who's gonna do interview, guys, in case we win? And no one wants to do it because only me and Landon, likes to do it. So we're like, the one with the highest deaths has to do it, right? So we were like playing a bit, and we can see, okay, we can cap with a lot of time. And then we capped, and then on defense, we were like, yo, Lepta, you have the highest deaths here, mate. You need to calm down. And then, like, if you go back into the VOD, if you look at when they cap second point, look at Lepta's positioning. They just capped second point, okay? Lepta is standing at the back of third, and I'm mercy beaming him. I'm screaming, Lepta, can you please move up? I can hear them EMPing 5v3, and he's just chilling in spawn. I'm not even kidding you. If you look at the replay, you can see he's like actively win trading. I'm just like, bro, what is going on? And then, people are getting a bit annoyed. They're getting go closer to capping, and then they actually capped, and we're like, oh my gosh, just get it over with, Yeah, but yeah, we had a little challenge going on, and then we ended up winning the map regardless, and Lepta had the highest deaths, but still didn't do the interview, so cheers.
So you got scammed, yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Then, obviously, we don't know the patch coming up. Is there anything in particular you're hoping for, or anything you think, oh yeah, this maybe needs to be tuned down a bit or changed, or you'd like to see?
I mean, if I'm speaking from like my team's perspective, they can just buff Symmetra and Diva and like our favorite heroes, and then we can win again. But in all seriousness, I think maybe some heroes can be slightly overtuned. I think Wu Yang's output is maybe a bit too high considering. I know it's a new hero and all that, but the damage is crazy. The healing as well. If you hit the waves on your teammate, maybe change the numbers slightly. But I honestly think like you can be the meta seems okay. I think a lot of heroes are viable. You can play whatever your team's strengths are. You can even see like Roadhog being played. Like every tag is playable pretty much. So I think this patch is actually pretty good. But if I want to win, I just say buff Symmetra and all our one-trick heroes, and life is good.
Obviously, you've got probably the biggest game of this stage, or at least the biggest game of the regular season, coming up next just after this as well, against Virtus.pro. I think that's the one everyone's excited for. Stage 1 champions versus Stage 2 champions. And obviously, VP have signed Kevster as well. So how do you feel going into this one? Obviously, unknown changes, biggest game.
I mean, I've been talking to some other guys as well on other teams. Like VP, they have this is the meta they have to win, right? They have double flex DPS players. They have a good hit scan as well, double tank. If they don't win, get at least top 2 in this stage. There's something going on there. But yeah, they're the team to beat. I think they're really great. They are very strong. I hope our style can prevail. But I do want to say I watched their game against Gen.G and you saw. I think Gen.G took a map, right? So VP can actually bleed, as they say. So I'm pretty confident with our style because I believe we're a better team than Gen.G and we play similar comps. So yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful. It's gonna be a hard game, but I think this one is like the most important one for sure.
Yeah, well, did that obviously because Gen.G sort of pivoted back to the sim compared to their week 1 as well. But actually seeing them taking out Esperanza, does that give you actually a bit more hope? Now it's not like
for sure. I mean, you can even see they did our bans as well. Like they Lucius banned, they banned Tracer, they play the Juno version. They're pretty much the same team as us, and seeing them win a map actually makes me more put at ease because then I know, okay, you can still win with our comps as long as we play our game. So yeah, I'm definitely hopeful.
And then do you have a message for Virtus.pro then before the big game?
I mean, not really. Just watch out for the Symmetra, okay? That's it.
I'm sure they've got plenty of practice against it as well.
For sure.
All right. Thank you very much, Kellex. I appreciate your time and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.